the great music, huh? You know, I was up here sharing that it's, the great weather is coming back and the attendance goes down. But you know, you can have great weather and great weather on the inside, yes? So thank you all for being here and creating great weather here inside the church. We got some wonderful things happening today, and we welcome those of you who are online. We're so grateful that you're joining us as well, whether you're inside or outside. We have an old chestnut we're going to use to start the service today, and so I'm going to invite you to stand on your feet if you are able, but just open your heart, open your spirit, open your mind, and let's sing a little Shower the People You Love with Love. We need a little rhythm now. Okay, Unity North, here we go. 1, 2, 3. You can play the game, you can act out the part, though you know it wasn't written for you. Come on, Unity. Tell me how you're gonna stand there with your broken heart, ashamed of playing a fool. One thing can lead to another. It doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother, sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't think. Let's hear it, everybody. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Come on, Unity, sing it out. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is widely known. Now what you plan to do with your foolish pride when you're all by yourself alone? Once you tell somebody the way that you feel, you can feel it beginning to ease. I think it's true what they say about the squeaky wheel, always getting the grease. Better to shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Come on and shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Do me a favor, turn to your left and your right and shower the people you love with a little bit of love. Let them know you are grateful they are here this morning. And we are showering those of you who are online with all kinds of love and joy and peace and all the oneness that exists here. We're connected through the airwaves with you, and we're so grateful that you've chosen to tune in here today. Thanks so much for being here. Shower the love, feel the love, and then send it right on back. Okay, Unity, come on back. Come on and shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You get one more shot at it. Come on now. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Give yourselves a round of applause. It sounds so sweet, so good. Oh, Well, welcome to our month of interfaith diversity. You know, this has been the year of diversity, and we're in the middle of the month of April, where we're celebrating the different paths, the different ways to express and to experience God. And I'm so grateful. I'll introduce these two ladies to you in a moment, but right now we're going to go into a prayer. You're going to have three different prayers from three different traditions. I invite you to take a deep breath. And on the exhale, close your outer eyes and open your inner eyes and allow yourself to become fully present to the miracle of right now.
Asato ma sat gamaya, tamaso ma jyotir gamaya, mrityor ma amritam gamaya. Lead me from the unreal to the real. Lead me from the darkness to the light. Lead me from the temporary to the eternal, from the Brihadaryanka Upanishad.
Divine source of all, we come together today with hearts full of gratitude for the diversity of faith that enrich our community. In this sacred space, we celebrate the beauty and wisdom found in every tradition, recognizing the unique paths that lead us all to you. We express our deepest appreciation for the opportunity to learn from one another, to share in each other's traditions, and to grow together in love and understanding. May our differences be a bridge that connect us rather than a barrier that divide us. We give thanks for the gift of dialogue, for the open exchanges of ideas and perspectives that allow us to deepen our connection to one another and to the divine. May we always approach these conversations with humility, curiosity, and respect. As we gather in this sacred space, may we be guided by the spirit of compassion and unity, recognizing the inherent worth and dignity of every soul. May we be inspired to work together for the greater good, to heal the divisions that separate us, and to build a world where all are valued and honored. With heart overflowing with gratitude, we offer this prayer, knowing that we are truly blessed to be part of a community that embraces the beauty of diversity and the power of interfaith dialogue. Amen.
We return to the mountain. We return to the ocean. We return to the womb of creation, where every part of our existence became us. Here in this place of power and darkness and stillness and pure being, we find peace. We find innocence, and we find the eternal goodness at the center of all creation. Here we escape the bonds that have held us captive. Here we are free, free from thoughts, actions, and circumstances, free from condition, opinion, and history. We are enveloped by the calm assurance that all is truly well. Once in this place, peace is no longer an experience. It is the very essence of who we are. We not only observe it, we express it. We not only express it, we breathe it. We live it. We are it. Peace in the midst. We are the eye of the storm, and we are the light in the darkness. We are the stillness in the center and the cradle of a new reality, a new paradigm for ourselves and for the world. This is more than just a moment. It is an essential awareness, not merely a fleeting escape, but an internal state of being as we realize we are the mountain. We are the ocean. We are the womb of creation. We are peace in the midst. For these truths and 1,000 more, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Together, thank you, God. Okay, Danielle, you got it?
I'm ready. Good morning, Unity North. We can do a little better than that. Good morning, Unity North.
There we go. As we are celebrating diversity, as we are celebrating all of these beautiful religions and traditions that we are blessed with on this planet, we're also celebrating love. We're celebrating the love that shows up as each and every one of us. So we couldn't be happier to have you here with us today. It might be your first time here at Unity North, and we like to say that it might be your first time today, but you are family here on out. This is an opportunity that we literally get to shower you with love. Don't worry, you get to stay in your seat, you get to stay dry, but we want to shower you with the love from our hearts right onto yours. We have our welcome team that is up here at the front. Their job is to welcome you. They have a welcome packet in their hands, and in that welcome packet, there's a Let's Connect card, because we want to stay connected with you and let you know more about this amazing and vibrant community. So right now, if it is your first time here at Unity North, we would love for you to raise your hand nice and high in the air so we can shower you with love. Thank you so much. You want to keep your hand up so we can keep showering you with love, but also get a welcome packet in your hand. And you can fill that out with pen and paper. You can scan the QR code, but either way, you'll have an opportunity to turn that in later so we can learn more about you and you about us. If it's your first time, you might be wondering who these amazing souls are in four corners of the room. They are our prayer chaplains on duty. They are holding us in sacred space here in the room, here online. We all stay connected, being held in the highest love and light. So we thank you, Lorelei, Brian, Mary, and Nancy. So, it is that time in service. It must be. It's announcement time. It's the time where we get to find out what is happening in this amazing community. Let's take it away with the first announcement. We are still in the midst of our raffle. We have less than a month left. So if you've been holding off getting that raffle ticket, it's winding down. So you might want to take that opportunity to go downstairs after service and get a raffle ticket. And think about it a little differently, right? Some people are like, $5,000, what am I going to do with that? I don't travel that much. But you might have family that travels that much or friends that travel that much. If you are the winner of that, you get to use that $5,000 Delta gift card in any way that you see fit. And there are no blackout dates. This is a really amazing opportunity. So think a little bit bigger. Visit us downstairs in Holy Grounds after service. You can call the office during the week and get more information, but don't let that opportunity slip away from you. In our next announcement, so many things that are happening today and happening soon. Today, we have our LGBTQ plus and friends sack lunch gathering. So it's really for everyone. If you want to learn more about the community, if you want to be an ally, if you want to be around other people that identify as you do, that is the place for you. Today, 12:45 in the Connections room. If you didn't bring a sack lunch, bring yourself. You're more than welcome. We have our support group for widows and widowers today at 1 o'clock in the Joy Room. And then happening soon, so next Saturday, the women of UNA are meeting at 10:30 in Holy Grounds. And this is a joint meeting with the youth of UNA, and lunch will be provided. So we've got the women and the youth meeting next Saturday. In our next announcement, we have our planned giving basics. There's a groan from the audience. I know, wills, trusts, legacy, but this is a great opportunity to actually understand what all of those words mean and have experts share with us so that we understand what planned giving is. Because we want to make sure that we stay ahead of the game. We can even support Unity North in that process. So April 28th, 1 o'clock, planned giving basics. Mark your calendars. And our next announcement, Warriors of the Heart, we have our men's advance coming up. So if you are wondering, well, Danielle, you haven't really told us what's happening at this retreat. Well, we will next Sunday. So come back next Sunday at announcements and you'll find out more about the retreat. But if you're ready to get your tickets now, Holy Grounds, after service, they'll be ready for you. And in our last announcement, we have Tama Keeves coming on May 5th. Now, she's going to be doing first service and second service. She's got workshop happening after service and coaching sessions. This is an amazing opportunity to soak in the goodness and the wisdom of this woman. So you can get more information on the website, but we want to make sure that it's on your radar. May 5th, just plan to be here because there's so much awesomeness that she is going to bring to enrich us and enlighten our souls. And there was one thing that I wanted to share before I hand it back over to Richard. We really have an amazing and generous community, not just because of all of the announcements and the wonderful things we do, but we have a wish list, and there are things that we put on our wish list that we need in our community, and time after time, they keep getting met. And one of those things, well, two of those things, 2 refrigerators have been donated to Unity North. That is worth a round of applause. So thank you for the generosity of that gift. It will mean a lot. It will be here for a very long time. And keep checking that wish list and see how you can be a part of that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Danielle. Always beautiful. I look forward to announcements because her light just shines. Do me a favor, Unity community. We know the truth that life is vibration. Everything is vibration. Join me in the sounding of an Om. Together, Om. Place your hand upon your heart. If you have not done so already, feel the vibration of spirit, the oneness that unites us all. Om. And send that vibration now out to everybody on the planet surrounding the earth one more time. Om. You know, the vibrations that we create here, life is consciousness. We're creating consciousness and vibration on the property here, and they are going to make the world a better place. Well, we have somebody who's been in our midst for the last 9 months, who is about to embark upon the world and make it a better place based on what she's learned here, what she's learned in the Unity movement. But 9 months ago, we met Mary Patton. And she said, she told us that she was going to be an intern here at Unity North. And so for 9 months, she's studied, she's been put on the spot, she's been teaching classes, she's been leading meditation, she's done messages. And I want you all to know that we're celebrating today that she was hereby, by the Unity movement, approved for ordination this June. And we want to make some noise and thank her. Come over close, come over close. And so this is going to be probably, I hope it's not our last Sunday with Mary, but it may be the last Sunday with Mary Patton, and when she comes back, she'll be Reverend Mary Patton. But I wanted to give her just a few minutes to speak to this family and this congregation before we went on with the service. Mary.
Thank you. It's been a wonderful experience being here, and I thank each of you for welcoming me as a part of your church. When I first drove here, I was a little timid, and I had met Reverend Richard and his wife like 7 years ago, but I'm not sure either of them remembered me. However, I had decided I would either attend here or Unity of Atlanta, which was my church over 40 years ago. And so I said I will do my internship at the church that I'm not attending. So that meant that I would do my internship here. But things happened over that period of 7 years that I have been in school. I took my time, I enjoyed the journey, and I learned a lot. But what I want to say to the congregation is that I believe that there are 4 ingredients that make a church, and I mean a loving church. Well, the first ingredient is love, and then the persons that come in your door feel welcomed, supported, and appreciated. And I want to write a book about that because there have been a few churches I have walked in, and the one that stands out in my mind were people like me. And the church was packed. I was the only visitor. And when I was introduced, nobody looked at me, nobody welcomed me. And even after the service, I had gotten lost trying to find a church in New York, and you know how New York driving is. And so I had really, I didn't know how to get back to Brooklyn because I was in Jamaica. And so I would walk toward people and seem like they'd walk away. And finally I saw this young man and I said, could you please tell me how to get back to Brooklyn? But the point I'm making here is that I remember an old song that said, just because the doors are open in the buildings where we meet doesn't mean the lost and lonely can find the love they need. It takes people of compassion with their arms open wide to welcome everyone who inside. So I felt welcome here, and it started in the parking lot. Whoever came up with that idea of leaving those spaces for the visitors, that was a marvelous idea, because before you come into the church, you have your welcome parking spaces. And when I walked in the door, I had all these people greeting me and loving me, and I have felt supported, loved, and appreciated, and I think that's the ingredients that make a wonderful church, a wonderful congregation. And I love you, I bless you, I appreciate you, and I behold the Christ as you. One last thing, I will ask your prayers and support that I'm divinely guided to my next experience as a unity minister after I'm ordained in June 2024. And you made history, because I was at Unity Church of Light when I became a licensed teacher in 1998. And now you are a part of my history as the church that I will be ordained as a unity minister from. So I will hold those special moments that I have shared with you in my heart always. God bless.
And so we're going to offer that same blessing right back to, I'm going to call her Reverend Mary. She doesn't have the title yet, but in my heart and the time we've spent together, you've been a minister to me as well. And let's just take all the love and gratitude we have for the blessings and the gifts she has offered us as we send her on her way to do incredible things. And so, Mary, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we behold the Christ as you. And we add, we love you, we really, really love you. Mwah! Thank you. All right, we got some music now. Eileen Howard is back in the house, and I just love it. She's one of the most professional people we work with. She says, I got charts, I got songs, and she looks for the right song, and she came up with 2 perfect songs for today. Please welcome Eileen Howard.
Thank you. This is a song I wrote. Humans journey toward the light. Since time began, we claw and fight. We gaze on sun and moon and stars, trying to leap beyond our bars. Drive out darkness, drive out fear. Let the voice of God be near. We are one with all creation, every tribe and every nation. Time is like a spiral stair, sometimes darkness, sometimes fair, making of our tiny lives a spark that wakens, flickers, dies. Yet a billion sparks a blaze doth make, burning up towards heaven's gate, giving me Time is like a spiral stair, sometimes darkness, sometimes fair, making of our tiny lives a spark that wakens, flickers, dies. Yet a billion sparks a blaze doth make, burning up towards heaven's gate, giving meaning to existence, folded within being's essence. Drive out darkness, drive out fear, let the voice of God come near. We are one with all creation, every tribe and every nation, every tribe and every nation, every tribe and every nation.
Eileen Howard. Thank you, Eileen. Beautiful song. And how about a little bit of extra applause for that great bass solo? Greg back there in the back of the band. Beautiful music, beautiful music. So this is week 2 in our month of interfaith diversity. And it's the 4th month in the whole year of diversity. The quote that we are using as the foundation for this entire month is from Father Hans Kung. He said this: "There will be no peace among the nations without peace among the religions. And there will be no peace among religions without dialogue among the religions." Here at Unity North, we have dialogues from different faith traditions. We began our journey last week as we had a conversation with a Sufi and a Baha'i and Unity. And we all drew bridges and made bridges and realized that, gosh, we call ourselves New Thought, but we're not really New Thought. We are merely old thought revisited. But we're going to even go back farther in time today. Last week was Baha'i and Sufi, and I had scheduled today to have somebody from the Sikh tradition to be here. Sikh, as we know it, but it's actually pronounced Sikhism. And unfortunately, they weren't able to make it today. They're going to be here at the end of the month. So I asked my good friend Chika Barton if she would pinch hit today. She was part of our month-long celebration of Black History Month. And during that time, Chika mentioned the subjugation, the erasing of African spirituality that happened in slavery. It was just pushed off to the side and subjugated and pushed away and long forgotten, but not long forgotten at Unity North. And so I called Chika at the last minute and said, "Can you sit in today for the sick people?" Literally. And she absolutely emphatically said yes. So will you please welcome Chika Barton. And so we have the African tradition represented today, but we also have Himalayan tradition. And our resident expert, she doesn't call herself an expert, but I call her a scholar and an expert in Himalayan traditions, is the person you know very well as Reverend Avril Maynard. She is a font of wisdom. And she has said yes today, too. And so I tell you, if I feel like there's 2 roses and a thorn up here, but there's a lot of beauty up here today from the inside out and from the outside in. And so we thank both of you for being here. We thought it might be good to start the message portion of the day with a poem or a reading or a scripture from our various traditions. I will go ahead and go last and share a beautiful song by Daniel Nahmod to represent unity. But right now, I invite you to open your heart to the language of 3 different traditions and allow it to steep and sit in your heart and in your spirit.
The good is one thing, the pleasant another. Both of these serving different needs bind a man, a human. It goes well with him who of the two takes the good, but he who chooses the pleasant misses the end. Both the good and the pleasant present themselves to a man. The calm soul examines them well and discriminates. Yea, he prefers the good to the pleasant, but the fool chooses the pleasant out of greed and avarice. From the Katha Upanishad.
In the whispers of the wind, our ancestors speak. Their wisdom echoes through the ages, strong and meek. In the dance of stars, their presence we find, a lineage of love forever intertwined. Through the veil of time, they guide our way. With gentle hands, they lead us to the light of day. In the depths of our soul, their essence resides, a sacred bond unbroken by earthly tides. With each breath we take, we feel their embrace, their spirits intertwined with ours in endless grace. In the depths of silence, their voices resound, a symphony of love in which we are found. For in the oneness of God, our souls unite, a divine connection burning ever bright. Through the tapestry of life, they walk by our side, our ancestors, our guardians, our eternal guide.
One power, one power, one power. There's one power, it's invisible, yet we see it everywhere and every day. There's one power indescribable, yet we speak of it with every word we say. It's mysterious until you know the truth. It's as simple as the love inside of you. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. One power, one power, one power. I invite you to sing those words with me. One power, one power, one power. Call it God, call it Spirit, call it Jesus, call it Lord, call it Buddha, Baha'u'llah, angels' wings or heaven's door. It's Muhammad, it's your mind, it's your soul and it's your sign. It's the universe, it's music, Mother Earth and Father Time. But whatever name you give it, it's all one power, can't you see? Whatever name you give it, it's the very air we breathe. It's the power of the love in you and me. Together, one power, one power, one power. And so today we celebrate one power in, through, around, and expressed as all creations, as all people, and as all religions. And so we begin to build a bridge, and I'm going to go first because these ladies have a lot to say, and I want to get out of their way as quickly as possible. So, in unity, we'll start with the unity movement. We believe in the oneness of all creation. That's our name, unity, right? That there's no person that's not part of a multicultural, a multi-layered, a multi-expressed, and multi-experienced singularity. It's often called God. That singularity is called God. But in unity, we call it love. We call it life. We call it light. We're less concerned about what you call it and more concerned that you have a relationship with it and with it as expressed as all creation. This love is known by many names. It's experienced in many forms, but we believe in unity. It is the single life-giving and life-sustaining energy that we all share. Everybody take a deep breath with me and let it go. That breath that you just took in and released is an expression of that God power, of that one life force. And you give that life expression as many as 30,000 times a day. Take another deep breath. Let it go. That's God. That's God. And you're giving God expression as much as 30,000 times a day. We're all engaging in that same exercise, conscious sometimes and unconscious at other times, right? Though it can be unconscious, this act is an act of energy being exchanged. We have exchanged energy since the minute you came into this room. In fact, you're exchanging energy with anybody who's been in this room for the last 25 years. You're exchanging energy with anybody who's walked the face of the planet with that breath. That breath itself is what we call God. And when we have thoughts, when we have feelings, and we have actions, they are carried out on the breath and exchanged on the breath and deposited into the one shared bank account of energy called life. We're creating a bank account called life. Some people in the unity movement call that collective consciousness. Every thought, every action, every feeling is being exchanged. Therefore, every expression is either benefiting or hurting the whole of creation. Sit with that a minute. What you're thinking and you're putting on your breath and out of your mouth is either hurting or helping the whole of creation. When kindness is offered, there's more kindness on the planet. Yes? When compassion is offered, there's more compassion available to the one who is expressing the compassion because the bank account has now been given a deposit of compassion and kindness. And that feels really good. But the reality is what we teach in unity, it's not just the good thoughts. It's every thought that you're holding, every feeling that you have is making a deposit into the collective consciousness. It's putting God into play for everyone else to experience the energy of God that does not interfere with your process. That's what unity teaches. Careful what you're thinking. Careful what thought you're putting behind the breath that you just took and the breath that you just put out. Pay close attention to what you're putting into play with the last breath you just took. The spiritual law is working. That's what unity teaches. If you want more love in your life, what's the antidote? Give more love away. If you're experiencing negativity in your life, take a look at the energy that you're putting behind your 30,000 breaths a day. What is the energy in the words that you're entertaining here, the feelings you're entertaining here, and the actions? Because your breath is amplifying it. That's what God does. As the breath, it amplifies, it increases, and there's more. Be careful what you think. Each breath is depositing energy into a great cosmological bank account, which is the connection of all creation. Past, present, future, black, white, no matter your religion, we're sharing the same air. We're sharing the same breath. And we can make regular withdrawals because we are making conscious regular deposits. Yes? Say that with me. I'm making conscious deposits. Our words are lifted and carried by the breath, and they're writing the story of our lives, of our walk on planet Earth, individually and collectively. In many creation stories, the Word is considered that divine impulse, the origin of all life. In the beginning was the Word. In many creation stories, that is the same idea that is shared in the book of Genesis. The Word is a catalyst the power to manifest what has previously only been imagined in mind. The breath and the word and the feelings behind that are manifesting the life we have, we experience, and we know. Everything was created twice. That's why there's 2 creation stories. It was first created here, then it was created out here. When something is spoken and given breath, it becomes real. Now, words are magic. Would you agree? Words are magic. Remember the magic word abracadabra? Abracadabra, a magician would wave his wand and something would appear or something would disappear. It's important to look what abracadabra really means. It has roots in the ancient Hebrew language, in the ancient Aramaic language. Anybody know what abracadabra actually means? It means I create as I speak. I create as I speak on the breath. The words that are coming out of my mouth are creating the world we live in. Unity is all about speaking, thinking, acting, and breathing with a magical awareness, a mystical awareness that we're all part of a singularity and that we are co-creating together. Hallelujah is good. I remember the first time somebody taught me that we're all creating together. I'm responsible for my life. It was not hallelujah. It was holy crap. But it becomes a hallelujah when we realize how powerful we are, how we can elicit change on the planet, how we can be the change we want to see. Take another deep breath. Let it go. Use that breath wisely, because you're creating something. What we're creating today are bridges of understanding between faith traditions. Who's going to go next? I'm going to let Chika go next to speak about African traditions and religions.
Hi, everyone. So I'm from Nigeria, and my tribe, it's a small tribe. It's called Igbo, and we're in the southeastern part of Nigeria. Our faith, we call it Odinana, which translates to as it is on the earth, like laws of the land. Our faith isn't separate from our culture or tradition, or there's no separate religion. We live our spirituality on the daily. So in everything we do, we carry our spirit. We believe in the one God, and we connect to God through our ancestors. We believe that our ancestors that have walked the planet before us, while they no longer have their physical bodies, they're now closer to God, but they're still connected to us. And so by connecting to them and talking to them and maintaining relationships with them, they essentially serve as our intercessors to God. A faith is really based around community, and everything you're doing relates to the community, as we're all children of the ancestors. Science tells us we all have one similar ancestor. So when you interact with another person, you're essentially paying honor. Like when you're positively interacting with someone, you're honoring the ancestors by bringing love and kindness to everything around you, people, animals, the earth, and yeah.
So let me ask you a question, Chika. So what you're saying is that we are interconnected with not just the others in the room, but with all life, with all creatures, four-legged, the furry, the trees, the leaves, the fauna, all of it is a part of a great unity, yes?
Absolutely.
And when I'm interacting with you and we're exchanging ideas, we are interacting as one, right?
Yes.
So old thought or new thought? You decide. It's been around a lot longer than unity. Avril.
I was being polite and turned it off in between. There's so much overlap. We really discovered how beautiful that the synergy was in the first service. And to connect with what Chika says about the ancestors in my tradition, which is the Himalayan tradition, I am remiss to say the word Hinduism because that is really a more modern word. It's an exonym, which means it's a word that was given to the people from outside of the people. And prior to more recent history, You might have lived somewhere on the Indian subcontinent and saw the divine expressing in numerous different deities, but no one felt that they had the one right central deity. There was an understanding that if the infinite is infinitely intelligent, it can infinitely express in infinite ways. And so you might have thought of Shiva as your central deity, or you might have thought as Vishnu, but you wouldn't have thought the other person was wrong. So that being said, I prefer to be described as a yogini who practices the Himalayan tradition. In our tradition, we believe in the idea of reincarnation, that it takes many, many lifetimes for you to wake up fully and to live out your story. But if you listen to what Chika said, it's very similar because I am genetically the people that came before me. So I am reincarnating in my offspring, in my families. And reincarnation doesn't have to be somebody comes that are like this brand new soul. It's all of us continuing this wave of forward motion to connect with what unity believes. And I always like to reference the fact that the Fillmores were influenced by Thoreau and Emerson and the Transcendentalists who were studying yogic and Buddhist philosophy. So we are practicing my tradition in a modern incarnation. But Richard spoke about the word, and before that he intoned the great mantra of my tradition, Om. And Om is our representation of that cosmic sound. It's the sound of the waking, it's the sound of the dreaming, it's the sound of the deep sleep, and it's the sound of the transcendent, which expresses as every single one of us.
We begin to draw bridges and parallels. One of the things that we talked about last week, and it's obvious in the room today as well, with the Sufi, the Baha'i, the African traditions, and the Himalayan traditions, there's been colonialism. Oh, people that have a different way of thinking, and actually what you comment about is you're bad, this is right. Your deity's bad, mine is the right one. And colonial people, I said the Abrahamic traditions, but they corrected me last service. But people come into a foreign land or a country, and they put their blanket over and try to erase. I would be curious if the two of you could speak about how you deal with the difficulty of, even to this day, there are people that will tell you that your tradition is wrong and that theirs is right. How does your particular culture deal with that, past, present, and in the future? I'm asking them questions that are not on the sheet, so they're going, uh-oh.
And he keeps doing that. He did that last service too.
A pop quiz. So our faith is very inclusive. We believe in the one God, and when people come to us, like when I meet somebody, I know that you're my brother and my sister because we all share similar ancestors. This is actually why the colonial people and their agenda were able to, I guess, infiltrate, because it's that same stir of like, we're all talking about the one God, except maybe now stop talking about your ancestors and only talk about, our part. But it really is, it's beautiful to see today in modern time. I've met people that have found a way to combine it, because it's not Jesus versus your ancestors, it's Jesus and your ancestors. Like, there's all the different forces and all the different spirits in the higher realms that look out for us. And it's like the more the merrier, really.
So could it be possible that we could not just say Jesus, it could be Jesus as your ancestor?
Yeah.
That this interrelated interconnectedness, and that's something we teach in Unity, is some of us have been hurt by Orthodox religion. We've been hurt and injured and have scars. Yet we will not ever give up the view and the truth, the spiritual truth, that we belong to each other. So it's a both and, it's not an either or reality. We just don't play the game that colonialism wants to play. We allow ourselves to go to a deeper place and a higher vibration to connect and find oneness. And I love that you shared that.
You know, as you study the history of India, it was the original interfaith melting pot. And there was a time, and I'm not saying it's expressing that way now, but there was a time where you might decide as a Buddhist emperor like Ashoka to still pay homage to Hindu deities and to still allow the freedom of practice of the Muslims who were living there on the subcontinent. It just wasn't seen as a threat because everybody understood that the spirit was about spirit. It wasn't about conquest. Now we have terms even in India like orthodox and non-orthodox, and that's really something that has been absorbed more recently. But yoga, my tradition, is another way of describing it, is to Hinduism what Sufism is to Islam and what unity is to Christianity. It's about the mystical experience. It's about the direct experience of the divine as opposed to the mere concept of God. Like, I'm thinking about God and God is this thing out there. This is a way of thinking about, not even thinking about because it's beyond thought, it's about living that God is you incarnate.
Sounds like unity a lot, yes? So let me ask a question of the two of you, and this is on your list. I hope you're ready for it. What does your faith teach about working with people of different faith traditions and culture, in particularly with destructive behaviors? So how does your faith deal with what the world would call violent and destructive behaviors? It's rampant in our world today, tearing things down. How do you deal with that from your faith perspective?
So there's different levels of destructive behavior. And really, when you look at things from the perspective of we are all we're all one, and we're all from the land, and we all have similar ancestors, if, as a mother, if someone hurt my child, they're hurting me. So when you do something destructive to a person in your community, you're hurting the divine because it's all one body that we're living.
Unity, we say often in unity, there is no private good and there is no private suffering. If we are interconnected, that which is being done is affecting the whole, and the scars are shared amongst us. Averill?
Ekam sat vipra bahuda vadanti. There is a single truth, but the wise call it by different names. And that is from the Rig Veda, which is from 3000 plus BCE. In our tradition, there is no other. I can't say that enough different ways. If I hurt Richard, I'm just flatly hurting myself. And the idea is that to take that from this conceptual thing when we're contemplating that, and that's actually part of our practice. We sit and contemplate that I am everyone else. I am everyone else. I am everyone else. And we call that mere, M-E-R-E, knowledge. But then there comes a time when we begin to experience that, where you're walking around and you're like, wait a minute, I'm looking at myself. And that's the experiential. So we have a tenet called ahimsa, which means non-violence, loosely translated. But the origin of it, himsa, means just to actually push. And it's the idea that we walk around going like this against others, even, like people call it microaggression and stuff now, but even the thought that I think that you are outside of me creates a push. And so one of the practices to constantly contemplate that you and I are just one being looking through a bunch of different eyes. And then if I really embody that, how can I be an instrument of harm? And when I think that I've harmed, what can I do to ameliorate that harm? Because we all miss the mark, right? And so that's where things like in this tradition, classically, we work on making amends. And that's the Gandhiist idea of nonviolence. At its core comes from there's nobody outside of myself.
So old thought, new thought, you decide. Or maybe old thought revisited. We say in our tradition, we quote the master teacher Jesus, pay unto Caesar what is Caesar's. There's going to be consequences for evil acts here on earth. You're going to have to be held accountable to your actions on earth, but pay unto God what is God's, which means never give up. Even if you have been harmed by somebody, never give up the ability to find and look beneath the surface to the love, to the good that might be right there and that has been missed by somebody. Don't be among those who are missing the good. Operate at a higher place and a higher vibration, kindness, compassion, love.
When you say that, Richard, you said pay unto Caesar, pay unto God, and even that can sound a little dualistic. Like if we have something happen because of choices that have been made from thousands and thousands of years ago, it's punishment, but there's nobody outside punishing us. And I think all of our traditions subscribe that things like karma aren't because we were bad and we're being spanked by the cosmic 2x4.
No, we're being spanked by our own laws. The laws set up on earth, there's going to be consequences. You act a certain way, you have a certain consequence. When I run the red light, I'm going to get a ticket.
Or an accident.
Yeah, and that's a real minor way to look at it, but there's some people sitting in this room that have had some really horrible things happen to you. It wasn't a God that made them happen or directed you, but that person who did that to you was going to pay prices. But our job, and it is the hardest part of a Unity student, is I will never give up the ability to look with spiritual eyes, to see where did they forget. What pain were they in that they could cause such horrible things? I have to find the oneness. It's not an easy task. None of these jobs are easy, but they are essential to healing the planet that we live on. I would love to ask you, what is the ultimate purpose of your faith? What is the reason for your faith tradition?
I think it's really community, connecting to the divine through community. Whatever gift you're given when you come into this realm, it's not your gift. It's a gift that you're given to serve the community. And truly, that's how you become an ascended ancestor, an ancestor that people want to make an altar for and remember, is that you've come and you've given your gift to humanity and you've shared your gift. And that truly is the purpose. And you're essentially never alone because you're one link or one thread in the web of everything. So when you're suffering, when you're celebrating, you're tied to a community that's experiencing life with you.
What I love about the teachings and my tradition is that there is absolutely a definitive point to it, where I think sometimes people walk around and they have a life where they're, they are this religion or that religion because that's what was given to them. And it might be a nice thing, but I love that this has a definitive waking state of consciousness, that there is the whole point of these practices is to self-realize, to wake up, to shed the illusion of separation, to step from the mere conceptual talk about it to being in a state of enlightenment. And I have a beautiful quote on enlightenment. Enlightenment is a state of freedom from the ignorance that causes suffering. And attaining this is the prime necessity of every human life. There is no necessity to attain mere belief in God, but it is necessary to have profound knowledge of the truth which lies beyond the concept of the word God. And that's from Swami Rama, from Enlightenment Without God.
So why unity? You got a different faith tradition. We're all looking around the room. There's as many spiritual paths in this room as there are people. What is it about being at Unity? I know it's not on the paper.
More pop quizzes.
They're wanting to throw that mic at me right now. You ended up here as an active participant in a Unity church. How do you juxtapose your particular faith with what Unity's teaching?
I'm going to answer that one hardcore. So, first of all, there's the whole karma and ancestors thing, and we were having a chat before service about how I am 50% Nigerian, whether or not my parents are aware of it, but that is what our 23andMe genes say, okay? And our ancestors were brought, on forced migration. They were of the enslaved and ended up in the deep South, in Jamaica and Barbados, in Trinidad, because that's the South. Actually, Brazil is the deep South. And then my ancestors went to Panama to build the canal, and ultimately my mother and father made their way to New York. But when you do my 23andMe, it's 75% West African and 25% British and Irish. You can figure out how that happened. Okay. So sitting here with her, understanding the karma of my ancestors, and my mother, who was an early adopter of unity with Carol when they were in the shopping center. So my karmic wave sweeps me to unity. Subsequently, at the same time, I'm living in an ashram in upstate New York, meditating and chanting. My parents were always so open and cool to exploration. That's just who they are as people. I'm lucky. I got lucky in the cosmic dice roll. I had parents who were like, hey, whatever you believe is good, and there's many ways to do this. So when my mother and father were coming here, I wanted a home. My ashram and my teachers were far away. They were in India, they were in Florida and upstate New York, and I wanted a place that I could hang out in community. And as I started to come, I was like, oh wow, they're just saying the same things. Our place is pluralistic, this is pluralistic, that's why I'm here.
So, I know we are related because my 23andMe is 100% British and Irish. So you are my sister. I always knew it, my sister.
These are my family members here. How cool is that?
Unfortunately, my parents are devout atheists. They don't believe in God, and they think that this is all a waste of time. But I found it for the same reasons. Find the door that there's a sense of belonging, a sense of community, a sense of we're all having a common vision and a common purpose, and that is the oneness of all people. Chica.
That's so beautiful. So the first time I came to Unity, I sat somewhere around there, and Reverend Richard was praying, and he said, in reference to God, he said, he, she, it. And I was like, this is my church. Because for me, as I've journeyed through, I consider myself an explorer. I was raised Catholic, spent my summers with nuns, so very, very Catholic. And at some point through my journey, I discovered meditation and yoga, and then later more my traditional religion. And I haven't quite seen a contradiction with them. They're all saying the same thing. They're all saying this oneness, and they just offer different perspectives to connect with God. And I believe much like if you wanted to get to know me and you spoke to my sister, she would offer a perspective of me. And if you also spoke to my husband and my son and my mother and father, you would get a way better perspective of me. And I believe that's the same with God. Like when you talk to other people and you hear other people's perspectives of God, it gives you a fuller picture. So when I showed up in Unity, and we're not just talking about God as a he, we're also exploring the perspective of she and it, and really just everything. I was like, this is where I'm meant to be, and it's true.
We like to joke in Unity that if you want to have an opinion about me, there can be 300 people from Unity North in the room, and there'll be 303 opinions about who I am. But the reality is what we share is a diamond. We use the analogy of a diamond. It's one diamond, but it's multifaceted. The light hits that diamond, and it shoots out rays, all different ways of expression, but it's one cause. It's the light. And that's what we share. So we ask the question, old thought or new thought, it's all just thought. It's all just truth. It's all spiritual reality. And it's our job as Unity students to follow the path that leads us to the light, but leads us back to the one diamond, to the one source, and to realize that we cannot and never will be separate from each other. We're going to move into meditation now. And I'm going to invite you to put some lyrics up on the screen here. And I'm going to invite you to get comfortable in your seat, in your skin, and in this moment. We're going to have meditation from 3 different traditions here right now. Take a deep breath. The words namaste come from an Eastern tradition, the Sanskrit that just basically says the good in me, the light in me, the magnificence in me, beholds that same in you. Take a deep breath again, and let's hold the word namaste with all people. Those that we understand, those that we know nothing about, knowing that our perspective can be one if we sit long enough in the light as the diamond itself. Let's offer our breath to these words and to creation.
the good in me, beholds the good in you. Namaste. Together. The good in me beholds the good in you. Namaste. You are beautiful. You are whole. You are beautiful. You are whole. As we continue this chant, I invite you to bring anybody that you've placed outside of your heart into this space. Bring them back in. Draw a circle and allow the oneness that we've discussed today to live in you. Everyone belongs. The good in me beholds the good in you. Namaste. Together let us sing. The good in me beholds the good in you. Namaste. The good in me beholds the good in you. Namaste. You are beautiful. You are beautiful. You are whole. You are beautiful. You are whole. And so in this posture of reflection, 3 different traditions meditating together, we begin with the poem by James Dillett Freeman. Do you need me? I am there. You cannot see me, yet I am the light you see by. You cannot feel me, yet I am the power at work in your hands. When you need me, I am there. Even when you feel most alone, I am there. Even in your fears, I am there. Even in your pain, I am there. I'm there when you pray and when you do not pray. For I am in you, and you are in me. Empty your heart of empty fears, and when you get yourself out of the way, I am there. Though you may not see the good, good is there, for I am there. Only in me does the world have meaning, and only out of me does the world take form. Only because of me does the world go forward. For I am the law on which the movement of the stars and the growth of living cells are founded. I am the love that is your fulfilling. I am peace. I am oneness. I am the law you can live by. I am the love you can cling to. I am your peace, for I am one with you. Do you need me? I am there.
As you continue to breathe deeply, allow your awareness to settle into your body. Feel the support of the earth beneath you, grounding you and anchoring you. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your chest with each breath. A reminder of the interconnectedness of all life. Now bring your awareness to your heart center, the seat of compassion and connection. Visualize a warm, glowing light radiating from your heart, expanding with each breath to encompass your entire body. As you bask in the warmth of this love and energy, extend your awareness beyond yourself to your community. Visualize the people who make up your community, your friends, family, neighbors, and all those who support and uplift you. Feel the bond that connects you to them, a web of love and support that spans across time and space. Now expand your awareness even further to include the earth itself. Visualize the vast expanse of land and sea, teeming with life and all its diversity. Feel the pulse of the earth beneath you, the heartbeat of a living, breathing planet. As you connect with the earth, send it your love and gratitude. Feel a sense of reverence for the nature and all the beauty it beholds. Commit to being a steward of the earth, to caring for it and protecting it for future generations.
Take another deep breath out and in. Again, exhale, focus on the release, and inhale smoothly. As you breathe out, you let go of anything that does not serve you at this time. As you breathe in, you refill with cosmic energy. Breathe out stagnation. Breathe in vitality. Breathe out anger. Breathe in peace. Breathe out fear. Breathe in love. Continue breathing and shifting deeper into your heart and remaining in that space, in the space where one breath dissolves into the next, in the silence after the Om. Observe the silence, one and the same as the Christ consciousness, the domain of the ancestors, your true nature. Remain aware of the silence that binds us like a web as you reflect on the relative quietness of your individual mind. Notice the smoothness and evenness of the sacred breath. Feel the stillness of your body. Bring back your connection to the eternal in the silence as you gently open your eyes.
And so do me a favor. You know, it takes a lot of guts and courage to come up here and have the minister throw questions at you you don't expect. I really think these two ladies have done a beautiful job today, and I just thank them. And there's more to come. You know, Reverend Julie is going to be speaking next week on the earth-based traditions. And then the last week we'll have one of my good friends, Preeti Bhatt, from the Art of Living with us here. And then the Sikh community will also be represented as well. So we'll have one more dialogue. But right now, there's not only good work being done up here, there's good work being done downstairs. And speaking of Reverend Julie, she wants to talk to you for just a sec.
Thank you, thank you. I brought a couple of friends with me today. This is, can you say your name for all the grown-ups? I'll give you a hint.
Lena.
This is Lena, she's 4, and?
Kira.
Who's never met a stranger. This is Kira and Lena. And so I'm really here to share a cool thing that happened. Lena's mom sent me a video of Lena doing our Prayer for Protection song. And so I wanted to take just a second to give you a really short version of all the beauty and the magic that's going on downstairs. How many people wish they had grown up in unity? How many people did grow up in unity? Yeah, I know.
Did you see my mother raise her hand?
Oh, yes, Yvonne. So, I mean, we're infusing them with these principles. And so if I asked you what is your very favorite thing about coming to church on Sundays, what would you say?
Miss Julie.
I'll pay you later. All right, different question. What do we learn about where is God?
In our hearts.
In our hearts. And where is God for you? Yeah, I don't want to leave her out, but I feel like she's just going to stand here and look glittery. So God is in our hearts. Does everyone have that light?
Yes.
So what happens if two people aren't getting along and one person is sad and says, I don't have my light? What happens?
They light up the light.
So do we share it?
Yeah.
So we learn about how we can share our light with everybody, and really amazing things are going on downstairs. So the first thing I want to talk about is the only thing I want to talk about is just how powerful it is. And I want to show you this video that was completely unsolicited. This is Lena, and it talks about how basically these principles go home with them. So guys, if you want to, this is Lena at home singing the song of protection. You're going to be up there. Do you guys have the video? You don't have the video? That's the whole reason we're here. How do you not have the video? No, we're going to come back because that was really important. How do you don't, are you sure? Because I was told it's there. Okay, so use your imagination. You guys want to sing it for them? Do you guys want to sing it for them? Danielle and Richard, please allow us to come back and show it to the congregation. Okay, but for now, let's do it. I'll help sing. Can you guys do the motions? Do you know it? Yes, I'm putting you on the spot. Can you do the motions too? Do you need your cape? Because she was wearing a cape. No? Okay, here we go. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. Wherever I am, God is. Don't worry. You'll see the video. But in the meantime, if you would like to come downstairs, we have grown. We had 58 children here a few weeks ago through through all of the ages. And we hit a record in Unikids with 31. So we need more grown-ups so that we can continue to grow. So one time a month, if you want to come see this precious energy, see the three of us out in the foyer after, and we're going to give you a bookmark. So thank you, and we will be back for that video.
We're so grateful for all the work that's going on right now. But right now we're going to go into a time of offering. And, your gifts support our youth programs. You're supporting Unity of the Future, interfaith exploration of the future. So I invite you to find a way to give. You can give in the baskets that are going to come down as the ushers make their way forward. The ways to give, see the little QR code up there. You can take a picture of that and you can give as well. But just find a way to say thank you and live in that energy. That's just energy, just like the breath. And as it is given out, it is coming back. And Brian's coming forward with the chaplain box. If you have a prayer today and you need to receive the consciousness of our chaplain corps, that box right there, take a prayer and put it right in that box, and it'll be held for 30 days from our chaplains and then sent off to Unity Village as well. But right now, I invite you to just join us in our affirmation as we say this with one powerful voice. Use your breath to say it with all the power you've got. Together, I am so blessed. I am so prosperous. And it is my great pleasure to share of my blessings and to share of my prosperity. And in the giving, the entire world is blessed. Thank you, God. As the baskets are coming around, let's join this Karen Drucker song. One voice, one heart. I am so blessed. Together we sing. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. And as we started, we have a wonderful song from Eileen Howard to take us out of here. And I know you know this song. Once again, make a little noise. Welcome Eileen Howard and get your voice ready to sing this song.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another mountain. There are mountains and hillsides enough to climb. There are oceans and rivers enough to cross, enough to last till the end of time. You know it, sing along. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for some, but for everyone. Lord, we don't need another meadow. There are cornfields and wheat fields enough to grow. There are sunbeams and moonbeams enough to shine. Oh, listen, Lord, if you want to know what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. No, not just for
world needs now is more love. You get to go be the person who creates it. Take one word, one idea, one thing that happened here today and go give it away. If what we've done in this room today stays in this room, it's been a wonderful entertainment and a waste of time. But if what we've done here today, the wisdom of what's been shared goes out those doors and there's a little bit more love on the planet, it's the most valuable time you could have spent. Thank you so much for being love, sharing love, expressing love. Have a fantastic and wonderful week. Take the song with you. What the world needs now.
Love, sweet love, it's the only thing that there's just too little of.